Sabrina Myers here, and welcome to my channel, Hot Hospitality Exchange. This is vlog number 28. As MICE ambassador to the Vienna House Andel Hotel in Berlin, this week on the vlog we're going to cover the topic of how BLEISURE impacts MICE decisions. Welcome back to my channel where I create videos of my experiences as an event planner on hotels, venues, shows, suppliers, and destinations around the globe for MICE. So without further ado, let's start talking about BLEISURE. Have you ever heard about the term BLEISURE? And do you know what it means? So BLEISURE, which I've spelled out over here, basically means the combination of business travel with leisure travel or leisure time. As I was finding out more about BLEISURE, it got me really thinking about whether event professionals such as myself consider BLEISURE when it comes to event planning and thinking about their agenda and really how it affects their event program. This is an increasingly popular trend that is taking over the travel world. So is BLEISURE something that you consider? Please let me know in the comments box below. I love to hear from other event professionals because personally for me, I think it's a really important factor when deciding on a destination or venue. According to Forbes, it is one of the 4 top travel trends this year, and there's no end in sight. I've put a link to that specific article in the comments box below, so do take a look and have a read because it is really interesting. Blending business travel with leisure travel seems to be one of the perks of business travel. It is seen as a way on saving vacation costs and providing the opportunity of creating a better work-life balance for travelers. Millennials in particular are increasingly blending business travel with leisure activities. In this vlog, I am discussing the impact that BLEISURE has on MICE decisions. And by MICE decisions, it's really a few different areas that I'm touching on. Number 1 is obviously it definitely impacts my decision when it comes to selecting a destination and or a venue, because a destination that's exciting, that offers quite a lot in terms of BLEISURE, actually acts as a additional draw card for attendees to attend the event, motivate them further, giving them this opportunity to have work-life balance when they are traveling for business. Number 2 would be how it would affect the planning of the agenda for the event. If it's a destination that offers quite a lot in terms of BLEISURE, do I want to take up the advantages and the opportunities that are present within that destination and venue and be able to incorporate it somehow into my agenda so that delegates are not just seeing the inside of a meeting room, but am I able to incorporate the elements of BLEISURE that are available within that destination and venue into the agenda to create more of a richer experiential program for my attendees. And thirdly, I believe it also affects the length of stay. So for example, when you're contracting, if it's a very exciting BLEISURE destination, increasingly we're seeing that delegates are extending their stay. So they'll come and they'll stay a week for the conference or 3 to 4 nights for the conference, and then they will choose to stay on a few more nights and their family might join them to discover further this destination for their leisure. So the 4 areas that I consider when it comes to BLEISURE and finding out if a destination or a property/venue is suitable for my events is: number 1 is gastronomy, number 2 is sipping spaces, number 3 is wellness, and number 4 is culture. And of course, I will be using the wonderful Vienna House Hotel Andel in Berlin as my perfect example of an amazing BLEISURE destination as well as venue. So first up is gastronomy. What do I mean by gastronomy? I am a big fan of Googling and finding the best places to eat around me when I go traveling. So to me, that's a huge thing, and that is what falls under gastronomy. Berlin offers incredible gastronomy options everywhere throughout the city, and Vienna House by Andel's Berlin offers some brilliant options for gastronomy. If you are having your events at this hotel, you don't even really have to leave the hotel in order to experience incredible gastronomy. And the hotel is very, very well placed in order for you to get anywhere and everywhere. It is so well connected with all transport links. They have a Michelin-starred restaurant from chef Alexander Kopp called Sky Kitchen right at the top of the hotel, which has the most incredible views and stunning cuisine from this very famous German chef. You can also hire this restaurant out exclusively for your event. The hotel are open to that. If Michelin is not your thing, then there's also another option, Mavericks, which is a California cool, beachy vibes. We're talking sushi, pizza, burgers. It's a really, really cool restaurant. Number 2 is Sipping Spaces. It's basically spaces and places where you can come together and you can sip something. So whether it's a cocktail, whether it's just a regular drink, these are the spaces where you go and explore and you have a drink. Berlin is a huge destination when it comes to drinking all sorts of libations. Coffee culture, which is huge in the city. Berlin offers something for every kind of drinker. If you are at the hotel at Vienna House Andels in Berlin, they also have some fantastic options, such as their very trendy bar on the 14th floor called Loft 14. Now, Loft 14 offers an incredible range of cocktails, beautifully served. You'll see on my videos here. Not to mention that Loft 14 can also be hired exclusively for events. And the Loft 14 is not the only space, although it is very, very Instagrammable. Just an insider tip. It's not the only space in the hotel that you can enjoy some lovely sipping. They also have a very cool coffee cart right in the middle of their lobby, which I think is something super unique. You can also enjoy an incredible drink with views in the exec lounge of the hotel. It has its own wonderful roof terrace, which, well, I tend to stay at when I'm at the hotel because it simply is a space like no other. And yes, you can also use it for events, but it's also a great leisure space. Number 3 is wellness. Wellness is huge right now, and rightly so. It's all about being able to balance work and life, your mental wellness, your physical wellness. The whole concept of pleasure is definitely one that fits perfectly with wellness. And in terms of wellness, what do I mean? It could be anything from the spa, which at Vienna House Andels for a MICE hotel, it actually has a fantastic spa offering with a whirlpool, relaxation areas both inside and out, very, very well equipped gym, because to some people wellness is getting that workout and making sure that they can follow consistently their routine of going to the gym and working out and releasing all those tensions. Number 4, and that is culture. If you look at Berlin in itself, it is an incredible mecca of culture. It's really for every kind of traveler, to street art, to visiting museums, to foodies, to anything and everything to do around culture, history. So much history in Berlin. It really is an incredible destination where one can really immerse themselves in the culture. And also destinations like this give you so many opportunities to be able to pick which part of this or which part of the culture you want to implement and incorporate into your events, so that your attendees can not only experience this when they have their leisure or their leisure time, if they want to stay on, but also how you can take certain things and implement it into your event program. You could do a street art activity where everyone gets together and does street art as a group, because it's a great team building activity. So I hope you found this vlog useful in terms of finding out more about pleasure and this increasingly exciting trend in travel, and especially how it impacts MICE decisions when it comes to event planning or selecting a destination and or venue. These 4 areas that I've highlighted are the main areas that you should be considering when it comes to evaluating a destination or venue. Also, areas that you should be considering when you're thinking about the agenda that you're putting together in a particular destination or venue when it comes to bleisure. I'd love to hear from other event professionals out there on your thoughts on the topic. Thank you for joining me on my journey as MICE ambassador to the Vienna House Andel Berlin Hotel. If you found it useful, if you found it interesting, I would love to hear from you. If you consider bleisure when it comes to event planning, then please drop me a note below. I hope that you will continue to watch the forthcoming vlogs and also follow me on all my social media channels and platforms. All the details and further information on everything I spoke about is in the box below. And I look forward to engaging with you guys. If you're loving my content, then I hope that you will subscribe and reach out to me, and of course connect with me on all my social media platforms. Thanks again!